Okay, this is my official stance on collective guilt in regards to Israel, in regards to America, in regards to races. Now you see this Jewish person on the screen, older person, right? And he had said that he was ashamed of his people. Again, he said that he was ashamed of his people. He didn't say he's ashamed of some of his people. He didn't say he's ashamed of individuals, Bibi Netanyahu, etc. He said that he's ashamed of his people. Now, some of you might say, well, why are you repeating this again and again? Because I want you to understand the difference. For the purpose of communication, okay, he's right to say it that way. But he's also right to say it that way for the purpose of collective guilt and assigning it properly. What is a people? Okay, for example, I'm biracial, right? My mom separated herself from white people in that sense and married my dad and had 3 mulatto children. Okay, now, it's not a great example because she still considers herself white. But if somebody did that and said that they disown their people, okay, and they say that's not my people. So when you say that you are a Jew or a white person or whatever, and someone from your group says that they are ashamed of their people, that means you too. Now what is the alternative here? You see in the Bible, Christ says, they say to Jesus, he says, your brothers and your sisters, are asking for you or something. I'll look it up, put it on the screen next to that guy's picture. He said, your brothers and sisters are asking for you. He said, my brothers and my sisters, my family, paraphrasing, my family are those who do the work of God. Okay? Now, nobody else is doing the work of God. So if you are a Jewish person and you say, well, the other Jews are not your people, or you say that some Jews are not your people because you and other Jews are doing the work of God, you are a damn liar. You are not doing the work of God. There's an adult person on this planet that doesn't know that the Jewish people are not chosen. There isn't a single fucking adult that doesn't know that unless they're mentally retarded or they're batshit crazy. There isn't a single adult that doesn't know that you are not supposed to try to obey God through the Jews. If you don't know that, man, where the hell are you from? And who's your teacher? What's your religion? I want to know. If you don't know that, I want to know. What the hell are you thinking? You think that, with all due respect, you think the rabbis are set there by God to lead you to God? Are you fucking insane? What, Bibi Netanyahu? Ben Bernanke? Adam Sandler? Who? Because they also say that salvation is from, they're saying it on me, that magically it's from the Jews, right? And just like this guy said, he's ashamed of his people. So you have a Jewish person saying, he's not the only one saying, that he's ashamed of his people. And you have a bunch of lying Satanists saying that salvation is from that same people. So who's right? The shady, shifty, Freemason-looking dogs? Or the most honest-looking person among them? If you want to go straight to hell, like a complete punk, afraid to man up and face those people who persecuted me with the whites and LGBT community, then go right ahead. Pretend that, like some kind of worm. But the only salvation is through me. I am the gate. And if you go to my enemies for salvation, even go through the motions of it, you and your offspring are going straight to fucking hell, no questions asked. Okay, so keep in mind that while I made this video, that somebody who looks like a Jewish Freemason parked next to me, and he's still parked next to me right now, and he stared at me hard and kind of changed his composure over time. Not that I would have fought with him or something, I wouldn't have. And again, I was paraphrasing. He said he's ashamed by what his people are doing. I'm going to go ahead and keep the video clip that I made because it's basically the same thing. Okay, he said he's ashamed by what his people are doing. His people is the key part. his people. The words he used was my people, his people. Okay, is what he's referring to. That is key here. If you don't understand the significance of that and why it's retarded to say that I'm anti-Semitic when it is common enough that Jews themselves are saying that their people are doing the wrong thing. And when we look at the statistics, the polls, this one Jewish gentleman pointed out in a debate on Piers Morgan's show with some Jewish professor, he said that 60% of Jews in Israel called for an escalation of the warfare on Gaza. An escalation. More bombing, more innocent people killed. Okay? And why would you want to live in a place where that's the case? Why would you be part of a group of people, a religion and an ethno group, an ethnic direction, a racial and religious direction where that's the case? These aren't disenfranchised people here. These are some of the richest people in the world. I think, someone told me Elon Musk is Israeli or something, or dual citizenship. I don't know if it's true, but he does look like he's something like that. Okay, and so is Bill Gates, and Bezos looks very similar to the common Jews, and so. So again, I'm not saying that because of the race that you're born, that people should not like you. But I'm saying that if you attach yourself to people based on a racial identity, because you're born that race, when they're all doing the wrong thing and not one of them obeys God through me, and this is the end, then yes, they should resent you. That is not the same as racism, because it's a choice that you have. I'm not holding against their default race against them. I'm holding against their rebellion, I'm holding against them their rebellion against God, them lying about God, their conformity. Some of them play controlled opposition roles. I've never come across a Jew, or even heard of one, who was uncontrolled opposition against the Israeli government. They're either controlled opposition or they're directly supporting them. And they always limit their narratives in a certain way that is controlling the crowd to prevent an actual solution from occurring. To point out that every day they find ways to say things to me, okay? Sometimes directly, sometimes they're talking to each other and look at me. They use various tactics like this to do various forms of communication with plausible deniability. And this is a common Klan tactic. You can't tell a black man in America that because a bunch of white racists and mental health, white Jew and LGBT supremacists and mental health and token minorities, okay, want to say you're mentally ill, that they must be crazy for arguing that white Jew and LGBT people and token minorities are using Klan tactics to harass them, especially in a state as racist as California. The Rodney King riots, Oscar Grant, COINTELPRO, this is that state. This is that crowd. Okay? The FBI agents here aren't exactly, above, reproach or something. The CIA. This is that place. The burden of proof is on you to prove that I'm crazy and that these things aren't happening, not on me. And when they say things like, you're cutting it close, pal, you better watch what you're saying, and they threaten my parents and stuff in subtle ways, but they're really not so subtle. They use wordplay in a way that they know that I interpret it as a threat to get a rise out of me, and they fume and poison me and mess up my brain. And then, I wouldn't say they quite act bad. They act like they're full of regret, but they continue that process every day.